peace and stability in the Caucasus. The only country in the Middle East having a substantial dialogue with a wide range of important actors in the Middle East, such as Iran, Syria, Israel, Palestine, and Lebanon. Recently proposed the idea of stability and cooperation platform in the Caucasus to promote regional dialogue for peace and stability. We have taken a very active interest in what's going on in Iraq, being our neighbor, and we have very good relations with almost all the religious and ethnic groups in Iraq. We have a fairly large presence in Afghanistan. We have a contingent of about 2,000 soldiers, and we also enjoy very good relations with various groups within Afghanistan. Now a donor country in Africa, we are increasing our diplomatic presence in that continent, and we are becoming an observer to the African Union organization. In terms of energy, Turkey is trying good use of its strategic position, and we intend to act as an energy hub for the region. Member of the G20, we are, just like Japan now, a temporary member in the United Nations Security Council. That I know is of great importance for Japan. Turkey currently chairs North Korea Sanctions Committee in the UN Security Council. We are also a member in a variety of international organizations. We can just name a few, perhaps, like Council of Europe, NATO, OECD, Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, WTO, Black Sea Economic Cooperation Organizations, Economic Cooperation Organization, D8, and Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia. We nurture a peaceful, prosperous, stable, and cooperative environment that is conducive to human development at home and in our region. In a world where international developments became increasingly complex and difficult to manage, Turkey will resolutely continue to pursue a responsible and constructive foreign policy, inspiring confidence in its region by way of mobilizing its political, economic, cultural experience in the service of the common ideals of humanity and its national interests. Now, a few words on our economy, because international cooperation to strengthen security and stability is important, but of course it is not enough, and economic interdependence and bridging up the gap between rich and the poor is also essential. Therefore, economic aspect should not be overlooked in Turkey's role as a bridge between Europe and Islam, East and West. Indeed, Turkey's role as a bridge has been consolidated in parallel to its economic development. Just let me give you a few numbers on Turkey's economy. We are currently 17th largest economy in the world. Again, just to give you a rough idea, our economy is roughly, and volume of trade is roughly 1/5 of that of Japan. That Japan is the second largest economy in the world. You can also understand that Turkey has a fairly large economy as well. We have a fairly large tourism industry. We receive about 26 million tourists every year from around the world. So our trade, especially with our neighbors, are increasing rapidly. A graph of this topic, we hope to establish an economic interdependence with all our neighbors. We believe helps to improve mutual understanding and dialogue. Ultimately, economic interdependence among different regions and cultures will have positive repercussions on political and cultural side. And before we conclude, I'd like to say a few words on Turkey's accession process to the EU, Turkey's relationship with the European Union. Very important subject, and also it is directly connected to the very subject that we are talking right now. There has been a large controversy concerning Turkey's membership process in the European Union. As you know, European Union is basically consisted of Christian countries, and Turkey is the only predominantly Muslim country that wishes to join in it. It is indeed a very important process when Turkey becomes a full member in the European Union. I think it will be a very clear demonstration that those who advocate the concept of clash of civilization will realize that they are terribly wrong, and that countries belonging to different cultures, different civilizations can live and cooperate together in our harmony. Turkey's EU membership process is another project of strategic importance, as I was saying. Actually, in the history of the European Union, there are few such projects as strategic as Turkey's accession. Turkey started accession negotiations with the European Union as of October the 3rd, 2005. Far, we have made progress on 12 out of 33 negotiating chapters. This means considerable amount of primary and secondary legislation has been amended or renewed in Turkey. Turkey's civil and criminal codes, as well as almost 1/3 of our constitution, have been amended within this process. Turkey's European Union membership triggers a kind of mentality change in European Union countries. Some try to view Turkey's European Union bid as a cultural challenge for them. We think this is a total misrepresentation. Tensions among different cultures are clearly visible in many European countries, and even racism are on the rise. Aging populations and economic problems in some of the EU countries are another problem, and as a result, reactions against migrants find fertile grounds. As a peace project for Europe, European Union should develop a response to these emerging threats. European Union's response is to promote a unity in diversity through acknowledging different cultures as richness. Actually, unity in diversity was adopted as the EU's motto by the European Parliament in 2000. In achieving the goal of unity in diversity, Turkey's accession process plays a key role. Democracy with a secular state, whereas majority of our population are Muslims. Therefore, Turkey's European Union membership will clearly show that democracy, rule of law, and human rights are universal values. Religions and cultures are compatible with these values simply because they belong to the humanity rather than one specific religion or culture. That is why we believe Turkey's EU accession process has a strategic significance and global implications. In the end, I'd like to come back to the Alliance of Civilization and refer to Turkish-Japanese cooperation on Alliance of Civilization. Turkey and Japan see intercultural relations, dialogue among different faiths, and alliance of civilizations from a similar perspective. Therefore, our responses are also similar. Now, I want to quote here from a speech made in the early 50s by the then Japanese Foreign Minister Shigemitsu. He said in his speech, and I quote, "The substance of Japan's political, economic, and cultural life is the product of the fusion within the last century of the civilization of the Orient and the Occident. In a way, Japan may well be regarded as a bridge between the East and the West. She is fully conscious of the great responsibilities of such a position." As you see, it is a very similar line along the same views that we in Turkey have been forwarding for quite some time now. Prime Minister Hatoyama, when he made a speech at the UN General Assembly in September last year, he also reiterated Japan's intention to act as a bridge among different cultures. We appreciate Japan's constructive approach vis-à-vis international issues, and we do think that Turkey and Japan can cooperate more actively in international matters such as intercultural dialogue. So far, our level of cooperation within the UN Security Council has been excellent. Alliance of Civilization is an instrumental platform where we can join our forces. A few more words as a conclusion. Globalized world of today, with its high level of interdependence, requires societies to understand one another in greater depth than ever before. Consequently, employing cross-cultural skills that facilitate mutual understanding among societies has become a key condition for peaceful relations in the 21st century. Societies with multicultural experiences are particularly well placed to contribute to this objective. The time has come to develop a common human civilization where different cultures find a place in it. In this noble cause, we should sustain and enhance our collective efforts. This concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.